So you guys might have heard about this issue by now, but the whole kind of Jaclyn Glenn and Buzzfeed drama. Jaclyn Glenn has been talking non-stop about this on her channel. Buzzfeed made this whole post on Medium about it, and even Philip DeFranco covered it on his show. I think that as a small content creator myself, who's in the same kind of community on YouTube as Jaclyn Glenn, I think it's important for me to talk about this topic, and I just kind of wanted to weigh in a little bit today, and I thought it might spark a bit of an interesting discussion with you guys, so we can get your opinion and get everyone talking, right? Before we even start, I just want to kind of throw it out there that I don't think either side is completely in the right. I think it's a very complicated issue, and all I can really do is kind of give my opinion on it. Not saying it's right, not saying I know best, I'm just gonna throw it out there and see what you think. So I'm going to start by giving you a very brief background into what's been happening, and then we can kind of like talk about a few of the specific issues and some of my thoughts about it, okay? So for a while now, Jaclyn Glenn has been talking about a short series of videos she produced for Fullscreen called The Skeptic's Guide to Wellness, in which she learns about a bunch of kind of like alternate medicines and things like that, and kind of spiritual healing type things. So she covers like crystal healing, cryotherapy, witchcraft, and so on. I think there's 5 episodes. On the 8th of September this year, she released a trailer for the series on her YouTube channel, saying that it was now available to watch on the Fullscreen app. On the 15th and 19th of September, she released clips from her witchcraft episode on her YouTube channel, which were filmed at the Green Man shop. On the 30th of September, Buzzfeed released a video titled "We Practice Magic with a Real Witch," which happened to be set in the same shop as Jaclyn did her video. It also covered a lot of the same topics, and they spoke about a lot of the same things. On the 6th of October, Jaclyn Glenn released a video titled "Buzzfeed Stole From Me," in which she accused Buzzfeed of ripping off her video to the point where it was practically a shot-for-shot remake. On October the 11th, Jaclyn released another video on her YouTube channel, which was a clip from her show titled "Crystal Healing, A Cure for Cancer." And then on the 17th of October, Buzzfeed released a video called "Women Try Crystal Healing for Chronic Pain." 18th of October, Jaclyn released another video titled "Buzzfeed Caught Stealing Again," in which she accuses them of ripping off her idea for the crystal healing video, although she doesn't really claim that this video is like a shot-for-shot copy like she did the witchcraft one. She mostly just claims that it steals the same themes, covers the same topics, and mostly just complains about how the Buzzfeed video isn't as good as hers. And she also talks about the witchcraft one again. October 18th, that same day, Buzzfeed releases a blog post on Medium titled "Dear Jaclyn, no, Buzzfeed isn't stealing your videos," in which they offer up a production timeline, and they talk about, you know, how the witchcraft and the crystal healing videos were made, what their timeline was in terms of research and booking things, filming, releasing the videos. My issue with that is that they're kind of, they're very, very patronising throughout that post. October 20th, Philip DeFranco, love him. He covered the story very, very briefly, but I feel like he kind of missed the point. He talks a lot about how ideas can't be copyrighted and how several creators can talk about the same topics without any issues, but he kind of glosses over Jaclyn's claims that the Buzzfeed witchcraft video had pretty much identical shots to hers. And then this Monday, October the 22nd, Jaclyn Glenn released a video talking about the Medium article and everything else that's been going on, which she titled "Buzzfeed Exposed," and I think that is pretty much us up to date with what's been happening. So I don't want to go into too much detail here and talk about, you know, each shot in each video and try and figure out if one copied the other that way, but I do think there are a few important points to talk about here. A big thing I want to talk about is this idea of 2 separate creators coming up with similar ideas at the same time, and how I think it is totally plausible that that could happen, and it does happen. One of Jaclyn's big claims in her most recent video, I think, was that 2 content creators talking about trending topics is fair enough, but she claims that witchcraft isn't a trending topic, and that's why Buzzfeed must have copied her. But I disagree, because I think it's perfectly plausible for 2 content creators creating videos in the same kind of area. They can come up with similar videos around the same time and not have copied each other. A couple of personal examples here. 4th of July, I released a video called "I'm Not a Feminist Because God," in response to a Girl Defined video, in which I do mention that I found Girl Defined through Jaclyn Glenn, but then I talk about how, you know, I looked at their channel and did my own research and found a video and came up with my own response to it and my own title, blah blah blah. And then on July 8th, 4 days later, Jaclyn Glenn released a response to the same video I responded to, titled "I'm Not a Feminist Because Jesus." So Same topic, very similar responses, same title. Are there insane similarities between our videos? Yes. But of course I don't think she copied me because we were both exposed to the same source material and saw the same problems with it. That's as far as it goes. Another slightly less extreme example was about 2 months ago. I made some videos called Debunking Psychics, talking about hot and cold reading techniques. This week, or well, last week I think, Holy Kool-Aid released a video called Psychic Methods Revealed, Hot Reading. Of course, there were similarities between these videos. We used some similar examples, we spoke about similar things. Was he copying me? Not at all. And you know, they're important topics, and because we make videos in the same kind of area, of course there's going to be overlap. But there's not a problem with that, and he offers up a very different perspective than I do because, you know, he's a different person. And I have to say, go watch his video actually because it's really good and I really enjoyed it. It's linked down below if you want to see it. I mean, even with this video that I'm making right now, so I planned to do this yesterday. I wrote the script and did all my research for this yesterday, which was the 23rd, and I filmed it today, the 24th, right? Which is why I'm adding in this little extra bit now. This wasn't planned yesterday. But yesterday evening, Zoe Does Live, who you all know that I know and I love her channel and I think she's great, she released a video on this topic as well. And now I purposely haven't watched her video because I'm interested to see if and how many similarities there are between our two videos, literally through pure coincidence. But you know, knowing Zoe, it's probably great, so I encourage you to go watch it. Again, it's linked below. I'm going to watch it as soon as I've filmed and edited this, so yeah, the point is, exposed to the same stimuli, we're both kind of similar thinkers, we both like to talk about similar topics, so it's likely we're going to come up with similar ideas and talk about similar things, right? Back to the specific witchcraft example, and you could argue that witchcraft isn't a trending topic. And I mean, no, not in the grand scheme of things. Go and speak to anyone on the street and they're probably not going to be talking about witchcraft. So not to the average person, but inside the whole skeptic, debunking, whatever you want to call it, community that this is, yeah, I think it's a reasonably common thing actually, and it's not so far-fetched to assume that two content creators are going to talk about it at a similar time. And as another thing, the Green Man shop where both witchcraft videos were filmed, apparently it's a really big deal and it's the most popular shop in that area, so it's not surprising they both chose to film there, right? The crystal healing video I think is slightly different and it doesn't have quite as much of a claim to being copied as the witchcraft one. And I think the main kind of argument here is that both videos had a very different purpose. Jaclyn went into her video wanting to look at crystal healing, learn about it, and make a judgment on it. Buzzfeed went into the video wanting to talk about chronic pain and try and have people try out an alternative treatment for it, which happened to be crystal healing. So while they were technically videos on the same topic, they went into it hoping to target different audiences, to talk about different things with different purposes. So I do think, you know, the whole, could this be a coincidence that they both released crystal healing videos at the same time? I think it's very, very likely that yes, this is coincidental. Although, you know, I'm not ruling out copying completely because we all know BuzzFeed doesn't have the best track record of creating original content from scratch, right? Another thing I want to talk about is how both sides have behaved and responded to this, because this is where I think both sides have major faults. But that said, to some extent, I understand Jaclyn's reaction more. She's angry, and of course she is, right? She put time and effort into this little series that she was so proud of, and now to have it look like someone's just come along, copied her ideas, and are essentially making more money from it. Of course she's going to be mad, that's not fair, right? But I'm not sure her kind of attitude of, they copied me, they copied everyone, down with BuzzFeed, and just kind of getting angry and mad and shouting on video, I don't think that's the best way to go for the best outcome here. She's a little too emotional, she's kind of throwing around insults like, well, my show's better than theirs, and honestly I don't think that does anything to kind of help her case, but it is completely understandable, and in the same situation, maybe I'd react the same. Probably I would, I'm quite an emotional person. BuzzFeed, I think, could have very, very easily diffused this situation in the first place, very early on, if they hadn't acted like spoiled brats who'd just been caught in a lie, right? I think their behaviour, their response to this, is really bad for them. It's making them look terrible, let's be honest. I mean, one of the women who was in one of the videos decided to like start throwing insults around over Twitter, like towards Jaclyn, and be like, I don't even know who she is. And Jaclyn pointed out that, well, we're friends on Facebook, we've met before, we've spoken before. And then the woman was like, well, you're clearly not that memorable then. It's just stupid, childish insults, and I don't think it helps anyone. I don't think it makes them look good or professional at all. The blog post they released on Medium, I found the tone very patronising, and while they were making some legitimate points in there, it was completely undermined by the tone and the attitude of the whole piece. And I think the main problem with this is that it does make them look incredibly guilty. It makes them look like they did copy Jaclyn, and they're just angry that they've been found out, so they're throwing tantrums like spoilt children. I mean, if I was them, what I would have done when Jaclyn made her first claim that they copied her in the witchcraft video is I'd have turned around, sent a private email to Jaclyn and said, hey, we're sorry there are some similarities. Here's a copy of our production timeline for you to look at to give you some peace of mind that we didn't copy you. How about in our video description, we link to your video, say you made a video on the similar topic and encourage people to go watch it that way. How does that sound? I think that would have been great for both sides. Both sides would have acknowledged that there are problems, there are issues, there are similarities between the videos, and I think both sides would have gained something from it. Buzzfeed being the bigger company, and that's the main thing here, Buzzfeed are a business. They should have acted professional. They should have done something to diffuse the situation earlier, not just thrown a tantrum and started shouting over Twitter and whatever. I mean, it's easy enough for me to say this, like, oh, they should have done this, they should have done this, as an outsider looking in, because I'm not emotionally involved. And it's never simple when there are emotions, and there's strong emotions, and you're trying to defend something that you've created, something that you're proud of, right? But like I said, BuzzFeed is the bigger company here, and they should have been the ones to act professional and set the kind of tone here and just sort things out straight away. So, like I say, I see faults on both sides, but mostly I'm intrigued to hear what you think about this whole thing. Do you think BuzzFeed definitely, completely, 100% copied Jaclyn, or could it be a bit of a coincidence? Was there a bit of both? Who do you think's in the right? Who do you think's in the wrong? What do you think about how both sides have reacted? It all just feels a bit kind of childish and unprofessional to me, but like I say, as an outsider looking in with no emotional attachments, it's very easy for me to say that. If I was in that situation, it would probably be entirely different. Yeah, all the videos, the posts, every single thing that I've mentioned in this video is all linked in the description down below, so you can go and watch Jaclyn's videos, you can go and watch BuzzFeed's videos, you can watch Philip DeFranco's videos, you can even watch Zoe's video and Holy Kool-Aid's video, because they're really good and I really enjoyed them, so go watch them. I say that, I'm not seeing the Zoe one yet, that's what I'm going to go and do now. But knowing Zoe is probably good. But anyway, do let me know your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for watching and listening and just being there. You're awesome. But seriously, no, if you've made it through this far, thank you so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again soon. Just wanted to say a quick, huge thank you to everyone who is supporting me on Patreon this month, with a special thank you to these guys: Ewan Matthewson, Secular Reason, Daniel Clark, Lachie Scott, Jadeon Sheppard, and Meinema. You guys are all incredible. Everyone else is linked in the description below or on the end screen. You're all amazing, and just thank you so much.